Hi, I'm Ian Anderson, an Apple Certified Trainer, and today we're going to take a look at two new effects in an update to SliceX. SliceX with mocha tracking already allows you to blur out a moving subject in a shot, ideal for disguising a sign in a handheld shot, or someone's face as they move around. Sometimes though, you'd prefer to pixelate that object rather than blur it out, and that's where the new SliceX update comes in. Start by finding the new Pixelate Shape Mask filter and apply it to your footage. You'll use the same technique as you did in the other SliceX filters to track your footage and then adjust the settings as needed. Start by drawing a shape around the object, and you can use the Bezier tool, Freeform tool or Polygon tool depending on what's appropriate, and then you can track forwards. You could also track backwards or indeed both, and the tracking process has been sped up here to save time. When the tracking is complete, open out the settings and adjust the pixel scale and/or shape softness to see the results. If your Mac is fast enough, you may be able to play this back without rendering at full speed, even with a couple of additional effects. It's also possible to apply multiple copies of this effect, or others in SliceX, if you have multiple areas, such as multiple license plates, that you need to obscure. If you'd like to smooth the skin of someone in a shot, then a purely color-based selection will select the face, but in this shot would also select the arms. By starting with a color-based selection, but further isolating the area to be smoothed with the usual SliceX tools, we can track the area we want to soften as it moves throughout the shot. I'll just apply this effect to the clip and do the track as usual, though I'm going to speed up the tracking here to save time. Zooming into 200% to see some finer details, you can see that Skin Fix largely affects the skin tones and tries to leave the hair detail and the eyes, other face features intact. Harsh highlights have been largely removed and minor imperfections have been softened, but there are plenty of settings you can adjust. If the skin color selection isn't perfect, click on the color box, then the magnifying glass, and choose a color that's roughly in the middle of the skin tone. If you choose an area of the skin that's too light, then the darker shadows will be left unaffected, and similarly if you choose an area that's too dark, then the highlights could be left unaffected. Trying to pick somewhere between the two will give the best results. You can also extend the range of colors by using the Skin Range slider, either extending the range of colors that are chosen or restricting the range of colors that have been chosen. You can also govern how soft the effect is going to be by moving the Skin Softness slider. Blur Skin Key allows you to soften the edges of this color selection. Low Threshold defines the darkest area that'll be affected, so if you push Low Threshold up high, then the shadows have the blurred diffuse layer applied on top of them, so you'll probably want to keep that setting fairly low to preserve shadows. High Threshold similarly governs highlights, and so if you push it too high, then the highlights will remain completely unaffected. Push it back down a bit lower, and you can smooth them out. Diffuse Width governs the width of the softening effect. If you push it down to 0, it'll pretty much remove the effect, and on a really high setting, it'll maybe be a bit too soft. Somewhere in the middle is about right. Once you're happy with the settings, go ahead and render. It's a complex effect and can take a little while, but the results are effective and couldn't be achieved as easily with any other tool. If you don't have SliceX already, try the 14-day trial to see how it works on your clips. Both new effects work if tracking by hand or with the Mocha planar tracking engine. Thanks for watching.